Okay, we have before us Miss Aubrey Shoemaker, and thank you so much for joining us today
You
to
are
tell
welcome.
your story. What we really want to focus on for this interview purpose is the Jim Crow period.
Yes.
Kind of like the whole civil rights movement. And I would assume, it's going to be hard to tell because you look so young, but you were a part of that period.
I sure was. Separate but equal, was alive and well.
But did you attend George Clem's school?
Oh yes, up until the 8th grade.
Okay, and
Yes.
then you transitioned or integrated over to?
Into the middle school at that, well, it wasn't middle, it was Greeneville Junior High School.
Okay.
Yes, so I have experienced through all of that the death of Dr. Martin Luther King when I was in high school, and even past high school to my first year of college at a Christian college.
Okay. Well, before we jump into that, tell me a little bit about what your occupation is. What do you
Oh,
do?
okay.
How does that incorporate
All
into your
right,
experience?
all right. Well, I started teaching after I graduated my master's program at Walter State.
Okay.
And so at Walter State, they did not have a psychology department, but that was my major and those were my skills. But when the instructor retired, I applied for the job. And one of the things I said is, you need to have a department of psychology. And they said, okay, you want to create it? So I said, yes, I do. So I was elected or appointed the department head of psychology, sociology, and social work.
As a young person, a young black female, did it ever tend to make you wish that you were something other than a young black female?
I wanted to be white.
You wanted to be?
I did. I really wanted to be white. I used to dream about this white knight that was going to ride on the Ajax man.
The Ajax.
The Ajax man. That was a commercial on TV. And so my white knight was going to come and rescue me from all of this. Of course I did.
So it kind of diminished your positive self-identity.
It did.
because of
I didn't want to be black.
Right.
I really didn't.
When did that change for you?
Oh my goodness, when did it change? Probably 19 or 20, actually. Had gone through all of school, hated being taunted and talked about, and ignored is the worst.
Right.
Ignoring me is the worst, that I didn't exist or not seeing me, you know. So it didn't, and I grew, as I got older, I grew and I started working at 19 at Greene Valley. And I began to see that, wait a minute, Aubrey, you don't have problems. These folks can't take care of themselves. You have a lot to be grateful for. And so I started to fall in love with the clients that lived there. And I softened a little bit, you know, during those, and I worked there for 21 years. And just grew to accept them, and they accepted me. It didn't matter that I was black to them. I'm the one who fed them.
Right.
Yeah. So.
During the integration process, did you feel like, well, or was there a congregation at school more so of the black kids, or was it an easy outreach or blending into?
I was alone.
You were alone?
Yes.
And why was that?
It was because none of us were in the classes that I took.
So you tended to be the extreme minority.
I was.
Once you integrated.
I was. And maybe that's because I had a high ACT scores.
Right.
And they put me on academic track. But that just took me away from everybody else that I'd been in classes with.
So were you shunned on both sides then because of
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah,
Right.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Were you able to make friends of the other race? Did you have like friends at any point during your school years that were close?
No,
No.
no,
Wow.
no. And so that's why when they call for a class reunion, I don't go.
Really?
No,
Not even today?
no.
You don't think times have changed to where they would be more receptive, or is it just that it's just that painful of a time?
They don't know me and I don't know them.
Wow,
So why would I go?
that is interesting. Now, what about the experience of integration from the point of view of a black female versus a black male? Who was better received, or was there a difference, or do you even know?
I really don't know, but I tend to think it was the athletic African Americans.
Okay.
That's
Would
what
that
I
have
tend
been
to think.
regardless of
Oh, sports.
the gender?
Yes. Oh, but there was no girls.
There were no
anything.
girls?
There no girl. Anything.
Really?
This is 65 through 69.
Okay.
So there were no girls doing athletics at that time. Not that I know of.
Right.
But the only ones were the guys who played football and basketball.
Did it change your relationship in terms of dating and
Excuse
and
me.
not necessarily you, but just from your observation. You said you were a loner. But,
Yeah.
After the integration period, did you tend to think that people wanted to go outside of their race, interracial dating, or did they still tend to stick together, so to speak? Was there any interracial dating? No.
I never thought about it,
Right.
even to
Except
this day.
the Ajax man.
Yeah, the Ajax man, right. That's right, that's right. Yes, but I was very young then, right?
Right.
Ajax man.
But okay, now as far as in the cafeteria line, even how did the cafeteria workers or the teachers treat you guys, as
Oh.
opposed to how they treated the white students?
Okay, I was blessed. Along the 65, 67, 68, there was a special program set aside for African Americans or the poor people who wanted to work after school.
Okay.
And so I worked in the cafeteria.
Oh,
Yeah, I worked in the cafeteria, would serve food to the rest of the students that were coming through the line, and like Ron Berquist. I remember Ron because he talked to us as we served his food, but no, there was nothing. And of course, the cafeteria staff treated us well,
okay.
But basically, I didn't interact. I interacted with teachers like Miss Simpson, Miss Reed, Mrs. Hahn, because they liked me and I graded their papers and things like that. But after that, no, I just...
Right. Well, as far as black role models during that time, can you name a few and why?
Oh my, honestly, my first role model, George Clem School, 10 years old, Miss Virginia Davis taught us, and we were her first class after graduation from college. She was short and she was smart. And I knew right then I wanted to be just like her. She would teach us, she would talk to us. As a matter of fact, this class, her first third grade class, had more graduates that went to college than any of her classes. Yeah, she was such an inspiration. And every time she comes back to Greeneville, she moved on to Illinois, but she comes back here, and I have to see her. I have to. She was my role model.
So what happened to the teachers at George Clem School after integration?
I do not know.
You don't know. You didn't see any of them.
No.
They never. They
No.
didn't go over.
Coach Jones.
Coach Jones. That was it. Interesting.
Right.
How did that make you feel, not having someone that looked like you now
I didn't.
giving you instruction?
How did I feel?
Did you feel a
I
sense
dealt with it.
Yeah.
I guess I just dealt with that. That was part of what they had already taught me to do. They told us that this was going to happen. And sure enough, it did. But they had prepared us already.
Right.
That you have to do what you have to do. You put your head down, you learn what has to be learned, and you move forward. That was what we did. So not seeing them was not a surprise. It was not unexpected. We'd already been taught.
Right. So prior to the integration, going back a little bit. And I think I addressed that with you about the Greene book that we knew was in existence as a traveler's guide.
I did
for
not
Black
know.
folks. And that's what I understand. A lot of people
Did
from
not
this
know.
area weren't aware of the Greene book.
No.
But it did exist. And if you come to the museum in February, you
I'm
will
coming.
learn more about it.
I'm coming. I really am.
I'm excited to do that as well. But I would think, and from talking to other interviewees that we had today, that there was still an unofficial means of communicating during your travels. Where were the places to go that would be safe versus the place where you might end up dealing with some sort of negative ordeal?
Right.
Did you ever experience anything like that if you did travel?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Locally, we just did not go anywhere that we did not know where we were going. For example, we didn't drive out to the county. My daddy had to work, but he knew where he was going, and so he would take us to work for the folks out there in the country. But there were parts of Greeneville you did not go.
Really?
Paint Creek?
No.
No. No. Okay.
So the horror stories preceded you
Yes.
going out there.
Yes.
What were some of the incidences that you were aware of?
Well, listen, my granddaughter just yesterday said, Mama, I want to ride on a hayride with a horse and buggy. And she said, don't you think that would be fun? I looked at her and I said, no. I said, because that's how they used to transport the slaves. And they put them on the hay, take them to the fields with the tall trees, and that's where they would hang them. I said, so no. She said, I didn't know that. I said, nah, you didn't know because you had no reason to know. But I said, I am speaking from what I know and what I've been taught. I don't find pleasure in doing that.
Now, did you ever travel with your family
Yes.
or otherwise to
Yes.
the South? Or even other areas where you may have faced
Yes. Oh, yes.
discrimination?
Right here in Greeneville.
In
Greeneville. My godmother wanted to take me to Chattanooga. And so she wanted to take me on a train. So she had scheduled the train trip and everything, and we were waiting for the train. And right here at the Greeneville train depot, I had to go to the bathroom. And I said, Gigi's, I've got to go to the bathroom. She said, okay, honey, let's go. And I said, well, why can't I go there? It was clean. The water fountain was clean. And I said, can I go there? And she said, oh, no, honey, you can't go there. You have to go over here. Hadn't been cleaned. It was dirty. It was filthy.
Was it generally like that?
Yes.
You had the 4 coloreds only?
Yes, 4 coloreds only.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And how did that make you feel?
6 years old,
6 years old.
I felt dirty, separate. Why did I have to do that? What was wrong with me?
Right.
What was wrong with us? And then we had to sit in a separate train car.
Right.
Fortunately, the trip was quite short, but we had taken food, and so we didn't have to eat because we understood that other people got to eat on the train, but we didn't.
Right. When you talk to your students, that you say that you give the Why I Tell My Story
Yes.
lecture to, are these predominantly
White.
White? And how do they
yes.
respond to it?
They are appalled.
Really?
Yes, because of course they've been sheltered, and of course they're younger.
Right.
So if no one is coming up talking about it, they don't hear it. Right. And so they get to hear my story, and they're saying, oh, Miss Aubrey, you went through all that? And yeah, I did. How did you not hate? I did. I did. For years, I hated white people. I really did.
What else did you hate besides white people?
For a long time, I hated myself. And I got